morning, this is Tom Cloud from a rainy morning in Georgia to start the bi-monthly market update on gold and silver. And it's my most exciting time of the year for metals. It has been the whole 46 years I've been doing this. And today is no different. We're getting ready to go in after Labor Day. The fiscal year for 2022 ends and 2023 fiscal year starts. We usually get the government shuts down. They can't meet their budget. They're in worse shape this year than they ever have been. So we know that's going to happen. We also know the results of that. It hits the dollar, and it hits the dollar hard. So what I want to say today is you can call this a semi buy signal for gold and silver. I think it's an incredible price and opportunity today. I think the dollar is going to be going down as we move towards September 30th. The problems in England that has pushed all the dollar up is getting a little better, and they're not buying as many U.S. treasuries. And I'm looking for the dollar now that's gone way out of proportion to where it should be to start coming back as people reload and look at different investment opportunities. So let me say it again. I consider this a buy signal. I consider it time to get in. Gold was 2,050 back 4 months ago. It's now 1,750. I mean, this is a gift. If you don't think it's ever going back to 2,050 again, you can turn the video off right now. You only need to know the reasons. But this is an incredible opportunity. And every year this happens, you'll see gold and silver start jumping in September. What's the reasons for that? I just said the end of the fiscal year there, and you're going to have the dollar gets too strong, it kills our exports. So then you have the dollar weakens, and that is what the major reason for that. And second is inflation. You can't look at what's happened the last few days with the forgiveness of debt to students, with the new infrastructure bill. We have put in a round of inflation that's going to, I think, put us to double digit by the end of the year and continue into next year and maybe all of next year. But we've got a serious inflation problem. But I don't see Biden not continuing to create money or whatever it takes to keep the country or to keep out of recession. But remember, we are in a recession officially. We've had 2 straight quarters of negative growth. The White House is trying to change the definition by saying the third month of the second quarter, it went up, so therefore they're out of a recession. But that's crazy. You don't change definitions that have been with America economically since the beginning of keeping all these records. So we know that. So inflation is going to get much worse. I've got clients in the silage business, food business, meat business, and every one of them are saying at least 10% a year for the foreseeable future, and probably more than that. So there's going to be a great inflation hedge, gold and silver. So we're holding up that. We've seen the dollar go from 95 4 months ago to 109 this morning on August 25th. So just think about that. Every 1%, the dollar's gone up. When gold was up at 2,050, gold is now back to 1,750, roughly. It's dropped 13%, up 13%. The dollar's gone up 13%. And so now we know when the dollar comes down, which we think will start in September, every 1% the dollar comes back down, gold will go up 3%. That's what's always happened. So let's just say the dollar goes from 109 down to 95 again. It's 14% times 3, 42, 43%. Add 42%, 1,750. You're back up 2,250, $23. That is the most likely scenario over the next 6 months, is that we will see $2,000 gold again, and probably 2,100 to 2,200 is what we believe, and the sources that we follow and talk to on a weekly basis think it will. So we think that will drive it up. Another indicator that we get a lot of questions about is the gold-silver ratio. This morning, gold's 92 times more valuable than silver. It was just 70 times 4 months ago. But remember, gold is money. Silver's an industrial metal. Long-term, silver will probably outperform gold. But on the short term, everybody's piling up gold because it's money, and they see what's getting ready to happen with the Basel III. We've talked about several times over the past year, and now it's finally coming to fruition in January, where banks can buy gold, count it on their balance sheets at market value or spot price. And this will drive, because I believe with all my heart that any reset that we have in this world, and we are going to have a reset, will involve gold. And even if you can't get gold anymore, it'll be fixed at a price that you'll be glad you have it. Because people I trust, I've heard numbers from 4,000 up to 30, 40,000, depending on how the reset takes place. But I do think it will happen. Special research for you here for the first time right now. I started thinking about this thing. I said, it looks like Jimmy Carter in 1976 all over again. So I got my daughter to help me, who's got a PhD in economics, who's now working with us, Catherine, and she did some research. In 1977, when Carter started the inflation going because he didn't want to go back into the recession that Gerald Ford and Nixon had just come out of. So he started priming the pumps, printing money, changed laws. We got the Monetary Control Act, and we saw gold go from 133 an ounce in 1977 up to 160 in 78. And then a year and a half later, gold hit 850. Now, I'm not telling you it's going to go up 650% in 3 years like it did from 77 to 1980. But it's going to be significant. It's going to be significant. Silver, $4.38 in 1977, went up to 1603 in 2 years, and then in 1 year, it tripled. In 1 year, it went to $50 before it contracted. That was up 12 times in 3 years. But the key was knowing to get out, which a lot of our clients did and a lot of them didn't. So we look at it and say, it's an overlay. What we see in 2021 to 24 is perfectly doing what happened in 76 to 1980. I'm not telling you gold's going to go up 6 times, but I think it's going to double or triple, and silver could do more than that. And you're going to get a real education here in a minute. I'm going to let you in some wealthy concepts that you don't find in the normal marketplace. So anyway, it's exciting to look at this, and I want to move now to the last part of this, a new term you may or may not have heard. 46 years of doing this, I never heard it until I went on these 2 big consulting jobs. The new thing is confidence diversification. Whole time I was working on a portfolio trying to help these families get set up the way they wanted, all the different family members, how they wanted, trust, non-trust, very significant net worth. But the one thing that the guy handled the stock part of this, and me handling the hard asset part of this, was the confidence diversification. Asset allocation we know about. We know about that since biblical times, when Ecclesiastes 11:2 tells us, divide your wealth 7 or 8 ways, because no man knows what disaster will come upon the land, straight from the word of our Lord. So I'm telling you that it's asset allocation is great. You have some stocks, you have some bonds, you have real estate, you have foreign currency, you have gold, you have silver, you have diamonds now, in our opinion. So you look at all that, and that's asset allocation. Now let's talk about confidence diversification. This is incredible what I sat through and watched. So what do you think stocks are going to do the next 2 years? If you think they're going up, then you have an allocation for that, a confidence. You have confidence that what you're putting in stocks are going to go up or stay flat at the worst, or you're not going to put it in there. Number two, you look at it and you say, bonds, I don't want any bonds because the interest rates, the Fed's going to hike them again. And bonds, every time they go up, we've seen that bond index, the one that's most followed, down 16% this year already on the total bond index. You don't want any bonds. These wealthy people didn't want any bonds. That's not a confidence diversification they can handle at this point. Someday it's going to be a great deal when we have multiple inflation, deficits get worse and worse, and finally, like Reagan did, we have a big one, a big recession. Then you look at bonds, and then I came in with my allocation for for gold, silver, platinum, and diamonds. Then I came in and built a program for them through the confidence diversification because they feel strongly gold's going up, silver's going up, and diamonds are going up from right now. They have a much bigger chance of going up than going down. So the portfolio ended up with almost no, they had a few tax-free public utilities they kept, but they went out of bonds almost completely. They can come back anytime they want. They kept some in stocks, and they heavily reallocated to gold, silver, platinum, and ice cap diamonds that we represent. So what you need to be looking at is where do you think these markets are going? Take responsibility, get help from professionals. We're here, Dan and I are here to help you. Certainly, I want to help you get through this time because I believe it's the last great move that will come out of this thing with, as I said, probably a digital currency, a new gold currency of some kind, and gold will be fixed at some price. You want to have gold. In my opinion, it should be your number one investment. It doesn't have to be the biggest allocation, but it should be the one that you expect to do the best. And once again, if I could have told you 4.5 months ago when gold was 2,050, you could buy it in 5 months at 1,750. You could have put almost everything you had into it. But that's where you are right now. And you don't have much time on this because I can't control what happens after Labor Day every year. So get set, look at this because you've just been brought a lot of information to you that the normal market can't have. We like to continue to bring our service and low commissions that we bring to this marketplace that nobody else has. I had a new client the other day buy gold off of one of the internet, off of the television ads, and he ended up paying 5% more for the same product than we sold more to him for. So all these fancy ads, somebody's got to pay for them. Don't let it be you. I mentioned last week, I love right now anything that we have, gold, silver, platinum, and diamonds to an extent. Anytime you want out of these, you can get out. So you've always got a time you can sell. And the world gets bigger. The United States is not what it's about. It's about the world. Everything I deal in is about the world. And that's going to become more and more evident as we go along. But I ended last time by saying that gold and silver always be someone to buy. May not be here in this country, always someone that'll buy it from you. But you may not always have an opportunity where you can buy gold and silver. Buy it now. Buy it now. About 20 years ago, I went and met with a very wealthy person in New York. And we talked and we talked. He said, I want to leave you. We talked about wealth and talked about everything. And he said, let me leave you with something. He said, you make your living by what you sell. And that's what I've done for 46 years. You make your fortune by what you don't. And gold should be a part of that fortune, just part of it, because that's what I say. Once again, you make your living by what you sell in my business. You make your fortune by what you don't. And that's where ice cap diamonds come in. And we'll have a video out to you soon on ice cap diamonds to answer all your questions and hopefully get you in this, because it's also moving quickly around the world to see diamonds that could become a currency someday in not the real distant future. But we've absorbed a lot of information together today. I'm excited. I'm here to help. I've slowed down in my business the older I've gotten, but I still have a passion to help people and get you in the right place for what's coming down the road. I wish I could give you a time frame. I can't, but I know what's going on. I've been through it too many times. So in a couple of weeks, we'll update this situation. We'll be into September, see what's going on. And with that, I'm going to check out this time and look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks. Also, before I close, 800-247-2812. That's our toll-free number. You can get Catherine or Dan or I. Once again, 800-247-2812. And you can send any personal questions to me at tgcloud@bellsouth.net. Look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks.